Yes, let's jump into it. So thank you everybody for being patient, just so we can let everyone jump in over those last couple of minutes. So I do see a lot of new faces today, which is awesome. So this probably means it's your first time seeing this, although maybe some of you watched the recordings from previous weeks. But exactly what you see on the screen, that's what we're doing today. We're going to go through the strategies that we're using to help stores add 40K per month in actual sales to their stores. Of course, it's all e-commerce based on Shopify. Go ahead, Paul. Go to the next slide for me. And there's three things I'd love for you guys to try and do over the next 60 or so minutes, just to help you get the most out of it. So first is try and remove as many distractions as possible. Obviously, I know everyone's busy. We'll have kids, families, people that we look after and stuff. That's no problem at all. Just give yourself the best case over the next 60 minutes to really pay attention. Turn on the cams if you can. I see a lot of nice faces here, which is awesome for us. And lastly, there is the chat function in Zoom. We are going to be asking a lot of questions. This is intended to be a bit of an interactive session. So just be ready if I ask questions that you can go ahead and answer them. So if that made sense to everybody and we know how to use that, just give me a yes, please, in the chat. And if not, no worries, let me know and I'll kind of go everything again. Yes from Mickey. Perfect. Cool. Let me see some yeses, guys. Got to make sure that we all kind of follow. Cat. Yeah. Perfect.
Got a couple of yeses. It's good.
Yeah, no worries. Cool, guys. If you don't catch anything or you want an explanation, make sure you do ask, guys. I don't want to leave anyone behind. I want to make sure this is very easy to follow for everyone for the rest of the presentation. Lastly, if you are in the Shopify Australia group, definitely jump in. Or if you're not, sorry, I think I've left a link in there to our Facebook group. And if you do, go ahead and just comment on our live stream. It just helps with the algorithm. And everyone who does, we give away free courses at the end of the session too. So it helps out a lot, guys. So feel free to do that. No worries if it's your first time on Zoom, mate.
Literally the first time Zoom user.
First time on Zoom. See that. Oh, good. We'll try to keep it simple for everybody. But yes, there are a couple of goals for today's session, guys. So some things I want you to lead with from today. And the first bit is how to convert more browsers into buyers. So we're really going to be touching on the conversion rate and conversion rate optimization for websites. Really, all that means is how many people land on your website actually become people who purchase your products. The higher that percentage, the better off you're going to be, the more sales, the more profitable you'll be. The second bit is going to be how to nail paid ads. So there may be people in here who have tried to use meta ads for themselves, or maybe hired agencies, same with Google ads, and maybe haven't seen great results. Very, very common. We're going to touch on what we do to ensure that people see good return on their ad spend when they do invest money into paid traffic sources. And lastly is how to create a pathway to profit. So you'll see us use a diagram throughout that's 90, 180, 270, 360 days. So what we like to do is we like to put down in actual actions that you can kind of then take on for the next 90, 180, 270, 360 days to kind of build out that pathway to a certain result in your business, whether it's to 5 extra sales or hit a certain sales target. We're going to help you to plan that over a pathway. And you'll see what we mean a bit sooner. Perfect. And there are typically a couple of questions that we see people get when they want to join in on the workshop. And the overarching question is usually, is this going to work for me? And it breaks down to 3 kind of sub-questions I've found. And the first one is it going to work in my niche? Obviously, we have everyone here doing very different kind of e-commerce businesses. And just so you know, we're going to tell you a bit about what we do, but we work with a lot of different niches where we use these same strategies and it works. Doesn't matter what niche you're in, as long as it's not a taboo niche. And the second bit is it's going to work at my size. So again, we work with people who are all the way from just starting to scaling up to 100, 200K per month businesses. And it's the same strategies that we help teach the people who are just starting that we actually implement for the bigger players. It's just done at a different level. So yes, this stuff will work for you. Doesn't matter what size you're at. And will it work now? This is all stuff that we're doing currently. It works today, this year. It's not old stuff that's outdated that people are just trying to peddle for views and stuff like that. This is real. We're doing it right now. Go ahead, Paul.
We actually had one of our inner circle members hit 250 grand in a day the other day. So that was like super exciting. Not just a month or a year, but he did $250,000 in a day. So good outcome for them.
Yeah, perfect. So who is this for, guys? I just want to quickly cover and see if this kind of aligns with you. So there's really specific type of people that we want to be able to help. The first kind of person is someone who's actually passionate about the business that they are building and about the products they're selling. It's very important to us that we're not helping people build businesses where the idea is to just sell crap that's going to end up in the bin in 2 weeks. We want to help people to build real brands that mean something to them and really serve the community in the world in a greater way. We also want to help people who feel overwhelmed in this journey. We understand e-commerce can really feel like you're juggling a lot of plates. And honestly, we really love to create game plans that help people to overcome that overwhelm. And lastly is that you want to make money. Everyone's in business for one reason, and we want to run businesses that are actually profitable. It means that we are bringing home a good income every year, and not just paying the ATO and our employees and our manufacturers, everything the business makes. Go ahead. Cool. So I'll let Paul take over here a little bit about him and why you guys should give us the next hour or so of your time.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Chris. Good start. So again, guys, thanks for jumping on. So just a bit of a background from me. So I've been in the e-commerce space since I was about 16, built my last company called eCom, sold about 40 mil worth of products, and then I exited that business in 2014. I now run Insightful, which is my agency, and I also run the e-commerce circle. Chris, you can do this bit for us if you want.
Yeah, no worries. We don't really have to go through this too much. It's just a thing saying everything that Paul's achieved and kind of what he's been through, just to say that you're probably going to run into a few of these things. Paul's been through it. That's all it is saying.
Pretty much, yeah. What we might do, so I might get Chris to just talk about this case study quickly.
Yeah, no worries. So just a couple guys that we want to share with you who just generally very lovely people that we've helped, and we're going to be using those teaching those same strategies we use for these guys throughout the session. But this is Chris and Sarah. They run Toy Box Tales. Was a brick and mortar business selling toys, and they had an online side. They're doing about I think 50K per month. They're doing pretty well. They came to us. They wanted to turn things around on the online side. I think just last December they clocked the 300K a month, which is really awesome.
You can see crazy numbers.
Actually changed the game with the website and really targeted brand messaging. And it meant that they could run a really high return on ad spend ad campaign. So it helped them scale. Awesome couple in general.
Yeah, they've just moved facilities as well. So they had like a little retail shop down in Hampton in Victoria, and they've now moved to Click Collective. Anyone knows what the Click Collective location is in Victoria. So it's like a 3PL and so forth. So I think their location is now, I want to say like 10 times bigger, like considerably bigger location than when they started. So they're, amazing business. All right, Chris, talk about this one.
Yeah. Landon Norell, very similar situation, except these guys are actually digital nomads. So if you see that bus in the top right corner, that's actually where they live. They turn it into a house and they just run an online business selling. It's all zero grid. They sell power generators and just off grid kind of equipment. It's kind of a dream that they always had, and we kind of helped them to achieve it. So they're in a bit of strife when they came to us. And again, we just followed this same kind of formula, fixed the website, the brand messaging, and really helped with their digital strategy. And it kind of just turned them around, and they're able to drive around. I mean, the numbers there, you can see for yourselves, but these guys are able to really live the lifestyle they love, which is one of the best things about doing this.
Yeah, so Landon's actually like a fully qualified Sparky as well. So, he's one of the leading authorities in this space. As Chris said, they've got 2 little girls. They travel around in the bus. They never see their stock. Everything gets shipped out straight from their suppliers, straight to their customers. So they are legit, running a very impressive drop shipping business, and from, all over Australia, basically. Yeah. Right, you want to do this bit?
I'll go for it, mate. So, look, guys, there is obviously an unhidden agenda through what we're doing today. The goal is, in the end, to work with every single person who wants to build a really great business. Regardless of whether or not we do speak after this, guys, I hope that you really can get a lot of value out of this and that solid game plan that we're talking about. But I just wanted to get everyone's permission. If you can give me a quick yes or no, if at the end of this, do you mind me just sharing how we could potentially work together moving forward? If you're okay with that, please just leave a yes. If not, no problem. You can always just leave at the end of it before we talk about that. Yeah,
just chuck that in the chat box for us if you can. So again, like Chris said, we drew this because we want our next success stories that we can put on these slides. So, come 12 months from now, 6 months from now, whatever it ends up being, we want to have your face on there going, hey, this is Charlie, or this is Kat, and this is Maya. We met them when they were doing 10K a month, and now they're doing 200K a month. So we'll go to the next slide. So yeah,
a few yeses. Thank you very much, guys. Just last bit, guys. So this just, if you're open to sharing, there's kind of 4 stages of business we usually find with people who engage us. You'll see there's the startup phase, the setup phase, the grow up phase, the scale up phase. if you're happy with sharing, just leave what phase you're up to, just so when we do give feedback to you throughout, we kind of know the situation that you're in. It kind of affects everyone a little bit differently. But if you feel like, thank you, Mickey, for sharing that. If you're open to sharing it, just leave it in the chat as well.
Yeah, I'll just or throw an emoji on the words that I'll put in there if you feel like it as well. So, all good. All right, here's another awesome case study. I'll go through this one. So this is Dan and Regan, amazing couple, make some of the best sauces that you can possibly buy online. I'm sure they'll appreciate us saying that. But Regan is a highly accomplished chef she worked in Europe and all kinds of different locations. So they came to us probably 12 months ago, and they had a great business. Since then, we fixed their website, we fixed their brand strategy, we fixed their meta ads, we fixed a whole bunch of stuff in their business. The issue that they have now is that they actually can't cook enough sauce. So where they're cooking and where they're making the product, we're cooking 12 hours a day. We can't keep up. So they no longer have a website problem, a brand messaging problem, a marketing problem. They have we can't cook enough. So they are out trying to find a new facility to cook from, and take their business up to the next level. But be sure to check out their website. Amazing as well. So this is a new slide, so I haven't seen this one yet. Goes through this in before, Chris, I guess. So you're probably wondering how we do this. Is it magic? Is it a system? Now, I'm going to go to this thing. So this is the more orders model. So before I jump into this, there is 3 main parts that are super important when it comes to actually building an e-commerce business. Does anyone want to have a guess about what those 3 main parts may be? Now, I'll give you some tips here. It's not the product, not at this stage. It's not Facebook ads, it's not Google ads. So have a guess and see what you think the 3 most important parts are when it comes to starting an e-commerce business or making sure an e-commerce business is actually going to be successful. Landing page, yes, kind of. Yeah, I'll give you that one. By the way, whoever engages here with the most with us, we do a bit, some live interactive stuff in here. So if you engage a lot, we'll do this with you, right? So I would encourage you to go, to interact in the comments. So everybody else has no idea at all, other than Mark. Good quality product. No, it's important, but it's not part of the more orders model. No idea, literally winging it. Okay, Zoom user. All right, cool. Let me, rather than keeping everyone in here in suspense. Now, the 3 most important parts, especially when you start and then when you scale, are these 3 things. Number 1, you want to actually build a store that is built to convert. Many people will go and buy a theme from the Shopify store, set it up, have a crack, do it themselves, get so-and-so from Fiverr to do it, or, pay a stupid amount of money and try and get someone to do it for them. And they build a site, and then 99% of the time it has conversion issues. Number 1 thing you have to absolutely fix. Next thing that you need to fix is you need to tell a really good brand story when people land on your website. So if you don't have a really compelling story, when visitors land on your website, they're going to leave. They're not going to go, oh, this sounds great. Really, really, I like what I'm reading on the site. I like what I'm reading about the founders of the brand. I like what I'm reading about the products. I'm going to stay and I'm going to give them my money. Is someone drawing on my screen, putting like red line everywhere? I don't know who that is. Thank you, though. I can see why you can clear the screen, Chris. And then lastly is you need to actually have a digital strategy or a financial strategy, right? So when it comes time to running meta ads and Google ads and doing stuff and sending people to your website, if you haven't actually nailed this stuff, you're wasting your money. So one example I like to give, and some people love it, some people think it's weird, but I assume there's some people that are married on this call or got a partner. If that's you, chuck a comment in the chat box for me whilst I try and remove this random drawing on my screen. So we'll see how we go. I'll wait a second until everyone does that. All right, there you go. That's good. Someone was doing graffiti. Yep. So, okay, 2 people. Married too long. I hope you're not in the car at the moment with your partner, Charlie. We're going to see a murder live on air. I'm sure they're lovely. So now let's think back for a second, right? Before you guys were happily married, happily in a relationship and so forth, you would have gone out on a date, right? When you went out on a date, 2 things that you would have done really, really well. You would have dressed well, right? Now, this relates to how you convert. If you had gone on that date wearing your Crocs and your trackies and didn't have your hair done, you're not going to convert very well. A lot of people's websites are in the same situation as that. They're all terrible. They're ugly. They're not going to give you a great experience, right? And also when you went out on a date, you know, you spoke well, like you communicated good, you shared your story about what you wanted for the next, you know, 20 years of your life. You're like, hey, I'm Charlie. I want to have 9 children, 3 cats, a boat, blah, blah, blah. And your partner's like, great, I connect with that. That's your brand. That's your personal brand story, right? And if you nailed how you dress and if you nailed how you communicate, guess what happened? You were happily married for a very long time, Charlie, right? And then off the back of that, obviously, the next part that you would have done, you would have put together not a digital strategy, but you would have put some kind of strategy. You know, we're going to move in together. We're going to have kids. We're going to get a house. We're going to do all the other stuff. An e-commerce business is exactly the same thing. If you don't have a really high converting website that has all of the elements that should go into a high converting website, it's never going to convert. So it's the equivalent of going out on 400 dates, looking like you've just rolled out from the pub and you didn't look very great and you're never converting and telling a terrible brand story. And that's, unfortunately, that's the state most people's websites are in, right? So, and when I talk about a high converting website, as an example, whenever we build someone's website, you know, there's about 120 things that should go on a homepage. There's another 60, 70, 80, 90 things that should go on a collection page and the product page and the cart page and the cart drawer and everywhere else, right? And it's the same with your brand message. You need, you know, like there's a big process that goes into actually having a really, really good brand message. And if you don't take those, as I call them, fancy words and fancy brand messaging and throw them into your website, again, people leave, right? So we're going to do this live for you and show you guys how this works in a minute. But is that making sense so far? Anyone love my terrible analogy of dating versus website marketing? Charlie loves it. I'm hoping Charlie makes it home after that comment alive. So we'll say it's good. All right. So I'm going to turn screen share off for a second, and we're going to get into this. So what we'll do is let's pick someone that is happy to be a volunteer / victim, and we're going to look at your website right now. I'm going to tell you how you're not doing this stuff right or how you can do it better. So who wants to go first? Might as well stick with you, Charlie. Drop your link into. Have you got a website? Or we get someone who we can talk to. Might be easier. I mean, he's in the car with like his kids and his cats. Might be hard.
Look at Kat shared hers. Kat, do you mind if we go through your website?
Where is the link?
Yep, all good.
Just I'll scroll up.
Yeah, do you mind giving us a bit of a background into the business?
Yep. So I blend organic herbal teas, you know, to improve health and wellness. So yeah. Sorry.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this for a second. So just give me a minute to look through everything. Revive premium hand blended organic loose leaf tea. Get your immunity back. So what is the problem that you solve? Like, if you think about your absolute ideal customer, you know, say they're so you talk about immunity, we talk about like premium is just a very general word, right? You know, organic is just a general word. But I imagine you started this business because there was a problem that you were trying to solve. You know, maybe it was for you, and I'll throw to you in a second, but you're like, I started this business, Paul, because I have terrible sleep. I had gut issues. I have anxiety. I have other things. So talk to me about that for a second.
Okay, so I started my business because I obviously have health issues that I wanted to target, and I wasn't into, you know, over-the-counter medications that I look for healthy, natural alternatives. And obviously I came across teas, and that's how it all started, trying to fix my problems and, you know, as I learned more about teas and what they can do. So obviously I wanted to get my word across, you know, to as many people as I can to tell them that there is other alternatives other than over-the-counter medications like painkillers and that sort of thing, that, you know, it's not so good for your health.
Okay. So talk to me about that what's one big problem that it solves then?
Health issues, for example, with me, I deal with a lot of pain. I've got a bad shoulder and bad back pain. So with me, it helps with my pain management and also with sleep as well, because obviously I struggle sleeping and pain. So for me, yes, it solves sleeping and also pain.
So, and then does it help with like movement and living comfortably, for example?
Yes, it does, because I can actually, do things with my kids and not worry about pain. And I can be more active. I can do more things, and I'm not limited to feeling like crap and being in pain all the time.
Yeah, right. So, see, very quickly, we got to the point that if I land on your website, make a beautiful choice. It doesn't say much. Revive doesn't say much. Premium, blah, blah, blah. However, I'm on my other screen. You'll see me looking to the left. I'm like doing some work here. We could have it say something like, chronic pain can drain your energy and your joy, and I did this in a minute. So it's not the best thing that I could ever do. I spent a day on it or a couple of hours, but our organic remedies provide natural relief so you can move freely and live comfortably again.
Yeah.
Instantly, everyone, like a huge audience, will come to your website and go, shit, that's what I want. Yeah. I want that. It's natural. And yes, it is draining my energy, like this pain that I'm in, and I do want to live comfortably again, and I want to move freely. Yeah. So there's a thing called a H1 tag on a website, and I'll give you some examples in a minute. And there's also a H2 tag on the website. So what I just described there is probably what we would put in your H2, and your H1 would be something along the lines of, natural pain relief that's pure and powerful and good for your gut. Mm-hmm. Why I'm doing it, and again, this is, I'll give myself a 2 out of 10 for this. We could do it way better if I had more time. Yeah. However, that's what people want to read. They go, it's pain relief and it's easy on the gut and it's easy to do and it's affordable and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'll give you an example here. So as we mentioned, Chris and Sarah, who are one of our amazing Inner Circle members, this is their H1 on their homepage and this is their H2. Now, obviously everyone, all the parents on the call, you could go to Kmart, Big W, or the 400 other bloody toy shops out there, and you walk into one of those shops and you're just walking into a warehouse full of crap. But you go to these guys' store and you go, unleash your child's imagination at a toy store where every toy tells a tale. Everyone reads that and goes, oh, that sounds nice, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? And then they go, from educational games and creative play sets, you go, oh, that also sounds good. So what I'm trying to get for you is something like that and then something like this, as opposed to what you've got at the moment, Yeah. So, very generic. Yeah. And then this is what I'm referring to when I talk about a brand message, because you're going to use that on your website and you're going to use that in all your other marketing, all your meta ads, all your Google ads, all your email. And I just want to say, I'm simplifying this like really, really simply. But if you look at their site, they've got this sentence and they've got this sentence and they've got all this stuff. So when we did a full brand messaging strategy for them, we come up with all this and we come up with all of the messaging down here. We come up with the copy for them so that whatever they say in Google and Meta and email and on their shop and in their videos, people see that, they land on the website and they go, oh, great, that's what I read there. I'm here, I'm in the right location. And again, why this matters so much is because if you've seen an ad for this brand and you've seen an ad for this product, I'll just pick something random. Like if you see, you please feel free to go to their website and you'll see their ads now because we're running their ads for them. But you're going to see my boys riding on one of these bikes. So if you've seen an ad for this bike and then you've seen what it said in the ad and then you land on your website, you're like, this is great. I don't need to go and price shop them. I don't need to go and check competitors. I don't need to leave the website. Everything I've read here feels really, really good. I resonate with what they're saying. I like what they're saying. This brand is the brand for me. And this brand is no longer simply a commodity. Like a commodity is like Kmart. All of them sell the same rubbish. Big W sell the same rubbish, blah, blah, blah. You see where I'm going from a brand messaging perspective with this? And I might even share at the end, if I get time, I'll show you how in-depth this whole process goes, right? Because we go, how old is the person that you're talking to? Where are they online? What do they read online? Where do they hang out? What are their pain points online? What do they think about? What do they say? Everything. Like, it's incredibly important. Now, that's the first part of this, right? Now, the second part is from a conversion point of view. Again, obviously, we need to fix it the homepage. I'll skip. I'll quickly scroll through here. Now, there should be, as you can see on this page, and take note, guys, like some people who come to these calls, like steal my ideas. Feel free, you know. Obviously, when you get stuck, call us and we'll fix it for you. But see these 3 things on the website, they're called trust signals. You don't have them. You know, so you go, hey, our blends are handmade. And then you say they are organic. And then they're trusted by 400 ladies just like you who have used our product and loved our product. What you're trying to...
or should I put it further up? Because I do have something down the bottom.
Yeah. 99% of people put things in the wrong order. And if you do not put them in the right order, and there's like a whole psychology around this, your website never converts properly, which is the reason we sell a thing called our Shopify Store Converter Kit, because it's in the right order. And someone like you will come along and just go copy and paste everything and put it into the way we do it in the right order, click save, and you're good to go. Because if you don't put it in the right order, your conversion rate always sucks. And it's never going to convert properly. So I'll scroll down quickly. Like you've jumped straight into a collection, straight into new arrival, straight into another collection. You know, like these kind of things should be up higher. I'll give you a few shortcuts. Best sellers should be up higher. People want to see what the best sellers are. They don't want to just see collections.
Yeah.
So they're like, show me. That's down further as well.
No, it's in the actual when you go into it. Oh, there we go. It is.
Okay.
No, it's really far down.
It's really far down. Yeah. So I mean, it looks like you're using Dawn theme, Impulse theme, or something. If I'm being honest, it's not the greatest theme. It's very limited. And I made a comment in the Shopify Australia chat today to someone. I said, don't use Dawn, don't use Impulse, don't use this. There's only so much you can do with them, and especially on a product page. And because you can only do so much with them, your sites are never going to convert as good as they can. So I'll jump to a product page and I'll show you what I mean now. So give me your best selling product. Is there anything in herbal teas that is, you know?
Yeah.
You tell me what I should be shopping for.
Scented Peace sells.
Where's that?
In herbal teas. So if you just scroll down.
It's in here. Okay. Yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So basic things, right? You don't have breadcrumbs on the homepage. Breadcrumbs means so that Google can actually get back to your homepage and other people can get throughout your homepage. You've got one review. That's fine. You're missing what we call metafield benefits. Metafield benefits are like a line, and another line in here that say like, hey, here's the top 4 things in one little sentence that we should be saying about this particular type of product. Like it'll help with anxiety. It'll help with sleep. It'll make improve gut health. It'll do da-da-da-da-da, right? Whatever the things people are thinking about when they're on this page, that is stopping them from purchasing. So if I was going to buy this, right, and I was going to be, let's assume I was buying it for myself, you know, I would love to see, you know, handmade, you know, tick, that's one of them, you know. Then I would like to see, you know, loved by people all over Australia. Done. Like there's going to be 4 or 5 other things that you'll put in there. I don't know what they all are right now, but putting them in there make a massive difference.
Yeah.
Then I won't give you everything, but if as I look around this page, there's heaps missing, right? You know, you don't have any photos of anyone like drinking the product. Yeah. Absolutely. You need to have that. People smiling, drinking the product, looking happy, looking healthy, a man and a woman and probably a couple, you know, and probably a pregnant woman and whoever drinks this stuff that can benefit from it should be in the photo.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have that, you know, smiling. The only time you don't use smiling photos, if you run a fashion brand, everyone should be miserable. Unfortunately, they convert better. So, let's have a look. Yeah, there's a lot of like shipping information, user ready. It doesn't say where it ships from, doesn't say how long shipping is, doesn't tell me how much, you know, it says free shipping over $100, but it's all too far down the page. Okay. And if we, even as we go through the checkout, so like I hate these pop-out carts, they just don't convert great. So what should be happening, a cart drawer should pop out. So a cart drawer means it pops out from the right-hand side. And when that happens, the cart drawer pops out and goes, hey, do you also want to buy these 4 other things? And it makes it really, really easy. And it just uses AI and the app costs you like $20. And instead of having a conversion value of $18, you've now got a conversion value of like $96.
Yeah.
Right. So And if I, again, so like I mentioned at the start, when we build websites or when people use our high converting framework that we sell, there's probably 200 things on the homepage. On the collection page, it's the same. There's another 100 things. And on the product page, there's another 100 things. Do you know what your current conversion rate is on the site? Probably like 1%, 2% or something.
It's around 2 or 3%.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So you're the perfect example. Just like do it properly and it'll make a massive difference. So this thing though is really hard. Like I'll give you some other things. You want to have information here that says like, hey, 3 people are looking at the product. 4 people have just purchased it.
Yeah.
It's in stock. It's ready to ship. Right. There's a lot of stuff in there that you can do.
Okay.
So makes sense.
Yeah.
What we'll do for you is talk to me just quickly about what you're doing from an ads perspective. You're doing Google ads, Meta ads, email, everything.
At the moment, I'm not doing any paid ads or anything. I'm trying to get my head around how I need to do it. I don't know exactly. But I do email campaigns and that sort of thing. So.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try this. I don't know if this will work. My son's been using my tablet and it's dead. And if I load it, it's probably going to load with Blippi or Pepper the Pig or something on it. So we'll try and use my desktop instead. So whiteboard, existing whiteboard. So what I'm going to do is map out your fast path plan, basically. So let's do this. I'll try and draw. This could go well or terribly. So how do I clean the screen? That's good. All right, so move this over here. Feel free to take a screenshot of this if you like before I go and draw all over it, because I'm going to do this for Kat. So if I was Kat, first things that I would fix, if I can find the pen on this thing, there it is, and it's over here. Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Feel free to jump in if you want, Chris. So absolutely got to nail your brand message. All right, so brand message. And I might, in a second, I don't usually do this, but I might show you the level of depth you need to go in to do this.
Okay.
That's number one that you got to fix. And we've got many options. You can do it yourself, or you can do it with us. Yeah. Second, you want to build a website that converts. Website, right? So you want to make sure that you have all those conversion elements. You want people to go through your homepage and your product page and your collection page, and they just get in their head as they're reading through and they go, oh, immunity elixir kit, and it's $35 and they got 50 reviews and tick, 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 tick. And they're going, yes, 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 yes. I'm ready to check out. Add all those things into the page. It'll convert way better. So you need to nail all of these things before you even worry about any Google ads or Meta ads, because everything is going to be stupidly expensive for you to run ads for. So the next thing that I would be focused on if I was you would be, how do you get your average order value up, right? Because you won't be able to run ads profitably for this brand if your average order value is $18.
Yep.
Because it's probably going to cost you $18 to make the sale, right? So you've got to get AOV, and I don't mention this on every call, but you probably want to get your AOV up to like $70 or something, right? Yep. So that you can at least kind of break even on your first order. So maybe you do spend $20 to acquire the order, you know, and the other $50 goes into your profit and the cost of goods and all that kind of stuff, right? Yep. The next thing about your kind of brand would be, where do you find all the people online that are likely to use your product that you can assemble a big group of people in, right? So whether that be a Facebook group, right, you know, or whether that be you become an influencer on this topic, or not even an influencer, but an authority on this topic, you know? So like I don't recommend a Facebook page, but something like Instagram, where you start producing, you know, 2 or 3 videos a day talking about all the benefits of all this stuff, you know, and people come to know you and go, hey, that's Kat. I like Kat, you know. She knows what she's talking about. I see everyone like Kat's photos, all the other ladies and all the other men and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm going to buy stuff from her. So what I'm proposing here, though, is build a Facebook group, which is super easy to use. I mean, that's where a lot of you found me. Like my Shopify Australia group has 9,000 people in it, you know, and it makes me probably, like that group alone makes me $1 million a year, right? And I've got 40 Facebook groups on all kinds of different things. This is free, right? But it's just your time. This is free. It's just your time. Why I'm recommending you start here is because you can take what works here and what crushes really well from a post perspective, right? So say you do 50 posts and 49 of them flop, but one of them goes gangbusters. You take that post and you make that into a meta ad and you run that into a meta ad because you know that it works and you know that it converts. And then you start going, all right, let's run meta ads to our website because we know it works organically and now it's going to work from a paid perspective. And it's the same with this. You're posting whatever you're posting here, you're posting it here. All right. At the same time, you know, you want to be building, I'm running out of space here, but you want to be building out like an email list. So, hey, make sure you're subscribed to our list, blah, 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 blah. We're going to send you an email once a fortnight about cool stuff. Right. So if I was you, this is where I would start with all of this. Makes sense?
Yeah, it does.
So, and all this obviously is like sweat equity. It's just like doing the hard work.
Yeah.
A lot of people get lazy and they do stuff like, oh, go and hire an agency to run meta ads for me and try and sell my product. I'm like, it's way too early for you to do that. You'll just waste your money. The only person who'll get rich is the agency. And they'll never tell you. Yeah. And please take note of this, guys. Like, a lot of you probably have websites as good or worse or somewhere near cats, you know, and you think that I should go and speak to an agency now or a freelancer and run ads. You shouldn't do that. You absolutely have to nail this first and you have to nail this first. Otherwise, like I said, the only people who are making money is those guys. And they'll string you along for a good 6 months before they go, hey, we think the website's a problem. You know, and you go, you could have told me that earlier. All right. So be very, very, very careful. So again, I haven't spoken about how we do this, but in our Inner Circle program, it's why we do this first. Even if a brand joins our Inner Circle program or our community program, you know, someone's doing $1,000 a month versus someone's doing $200,000 a month. I go, we have to just make sure these two things are perfect before we do everything else. You know, I mean, unless the people have unlimited amounts of money and they go, let's fix everything at once, and that's different. But most people don't have that luxury, right? Yep. So, makes sense?
Yep.
Do you want to add anything to that, to Chris, that you reckon I've left out so I can have a rest?
That was a really good one, honestly. No, I think you covered just about everything. It's really important, to consider your part in the journey, where you are, and understand everyone has to tackle these things. It's just obviously your capacity is different depending what stage of the journey you're in. So like Paul said, sometimes people will try to say just run. We see it every day. They'll sell people on running meta ads when you're just not at that point yet. They're kind of taking advantage that you just don't know. So you really want to take that approach of just tackle these main things, make sure it's all good, and then do the next step, then invest into the next thing.
Yep.
All right, let's do this for someone else. Thanks, Kat. That was cool. Sorry, we'll stay on to the end. Chris will tell you how we can help you with all these things.
Oh, thank you.
Maya, if you're still around, do you mind having a look at yours, the Australian plant shop?
Hi there. Yes.
Awesome. Sorry, I'll send through. So also Ashley's next if we still have time, but here's Maya's.
How do I?
Football.
Oh, my computer just decided not to work. So.
Oh, good. In the meantime, Maya, do you want to give us a bit of a background to your business?
So it's an online plant nursery in Sydney.
Yep.
So we have one of the largest collections of plants in Australia. Yeah. So we have right now, we're constantly updating our numbers, but I think it's over 800 plants at least. I'm pretty certain the website is really bad. The conversion.
I'm pretty certain I agree with you at a quick look. It's good. I like people that are self-aware that don't get on and go, I think my website's beautiful. And I'm like, okay, sorry, it's not. So
I was focusing on SEO. We're getting traffic, but the conversion rate is really low. And I've been looking at the numbers, and I realized that a lot of our traffic comes to our collection pages. For some reason, Google loves our collection pages more than our product pages. Our product page conversion rates are about industry average, and maybe even lower than average for some, but our collection pages just don't convert. So I need advice on increasing the conversion rate across the entire spectrum, from the home page to the collection page to the product pages.
Yeah. Okay. So first thing is if anyone who knows me knows that I love trees. If you look at my Insightful website, there's trees all over it. If you look at our eCom circle, there's trees all over it. I think I'll enjoy this one. You're definitely, like, for lack of a better word, guilty of not having anything in the right order.
Okay.
So, I land on the website, order live plants online. It doesn't sound exciting, right? It doesn't, you don't go, oh, it doesn't say anything about, hey, we have 8,000 different plants that we could be selling to you. So, because you got to keep in mind, a lot of people will click and they'll land and this is what they see. They're not going to scroll. If they don't see something there that's engaging and inviting and it says something fancy and exciting, blah, blah, they're not scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to keep going down. They're not going to go, I don't care about blue buttons for, like, blue reviews. It's like, doesn't even look like they're on brand, this stuff.
I recently changed that. So I've been doing a lot of, I know the color is not good.
Yeah. So other things, right? You've gone straight into products.
Okay.
Your in-stock things are warning. You're using like a warning color. That's like a don't buy it. It's like bright red. You don't use bright red ever unless you are a power tool store, right?
Okay.
Or a junk store. Come down here. Nothing, like, there's no brand messaging in here whatsoever.
Yes.
There's not like, hey, it's Maya. Is that how I pronounce your name? It's Maya, and your partner and our family have been in this industry for 25 years. And I'm just going to, improv here, but mum and dad started the business. We've continued it on. We have 10,000 customers around Australia. We have a massive range. So you go, oh shit, that sounds great. That sounds really, really exciting. I want to buy from them. It's probably hidden somewhere on the website, but I'm not seeing it, right?
Yeah.
So big issue that's going on there. And it's the same. Like, talk to me about who would buy. Like, who is your buyer?
So initially, when I started, I thought it would be younger women because I started during the COVID pandemic, and I thought women like more plants. But it turns out it's older men.
Right. And what are they buying? Which type of plant?
They buy more outdoor plants, garden plants than indoor plants.
Yeah, right. Interesting. How do I search for by, like, indoor plants? Where's the option?
So you see the shop indoor plants button or the white but yeah.
Okay. Well, what we'll do. Yeah. You go, sorry.
Yeah. So one of the unique things about our website is that there's a lot of data behind all of the enriched for all of the products. So you can filter by different kinds of criteria. So it's like a smart website, but it's not converting.
Yeah. Are you using search and discovery in Shopify to manage this? The search and discovery native feature that exists in Shopify?
I think so. That sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, it looks like it. So again, though, right, like, you got to keep in mind that you need to take people on an experience or a journey, or they have got to have something. They land on the homepage and then they've got to have that I'm in the right place. Like, I feel like, and I'm just talking out loud here, but they go, I'm in the right place and I'm about to have an experience and I'm about to have a good time. And if I buy from this brand, people around me are probably going to go, geez, that was a good decision, right? Oh, hey, little Maya, how you going? Those kind of things, like, again, like the Toy Box Tale site, because it, like, even talking to you, I can feel your energy. But if I look at the website, I'm like, where is it? Right. So little things like, I'm actually going to bring this document up and I'll show you. So I don't normally share this, but as an example, this is the brand communication that I spoke about that we do for everybody. See how many tabs this thing has, right? There's, I don't even know, 40 tabs or something. And I won't go through all of them because this is what we charge people to do. However, when you do go through this, you start going through, you're like, why are we in business for? Why are we doing this? How do we want to feel? Blah, blah, blah. What are our personal values? What are the brand values that we hold? What are the beliefs that this brand holds? What is the personality feel like of this brand? And typically the brand personality should match the business owner's personality. Like, people meet me and they go, oh, Paul runs Insightful, and someone else is drawing on my screen. So they meet me and he's the Insightful guy and he's the eCom circle guy. And most of my clients are plus or minus 10 years in my age, and they're very similar people. A lot of people are parents, they want to build good businesses. They're prepared to invest in a good business, and good advice. They're not like the dropship kids that go, the kids that like drop shipping. They go, oh, why am I not rich? I spent $50 on a drop shipping course. Like, you're not my market. So why I say that is you've got to go through this process. If you want this to be successful online, you go, what are the characteristics of the brand? What is the persona of the brand? This is how thorough we get. So we go, hey, this is Paul. Paul is 44 years old. He makes $250K a year, $200K a year. He lives here. He's a dad, blah, 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 blah. So when it comes to running ads, you're targeting me. You're not targeting, like, no offense to Chris Volato, but he lives in a smaller property, probably doesn't like trees. Do you know what I mean? He's not as like I am. So he goes, he's not my market. However, like his partner might be Kat's market. She might have pain. She might want to buy a cat. So you can see why this is so important, right? And then I'll skip everything else because you can see all these things that we have to go through. But you get to the end of it and you end up with like, here's your H1 tag. Here's your H2 tag. Here's your H3 things. And you go, put that on your website. However, you had to go through that entire process to get to that point, right? So now you've got all this to go on your high converting website and it's a game changer. Makes sense? As opposed to, hi, you can buy trees from us on the internet and we'll ship them to you. And we've got lots of trees. No one goes, that doesn't sound very exciting.
Yeah.
So first step is like rebuild the site and nail your brand strategy. And then I think everything else will start to come good on its own, because people will come and they'll be like, I'm looking for indoor plants and I should be able to shop by like, it's interesting you don't have like shop by indoor plants or shop by garden plants up here. But anyway, we can fix that for you, and then they land on this page and then they start reading this. And again, even this stuff, once you've got a brand strategy, a proper brand strategy, this stuff becomes so easy. Like we literally upload our brand strategies to ChatGPT. You go, hey, I need you to write product page descriptions and collection page descriptions for this URL and this one and this one and this one, and make it sound like us. And you go copy and paste and you're done. You're done in like 5 minutes, right? And then the only issue is you got to go, okay, let's not use anything red. We've got social proof. Like we've got there's no add to cart. Well, these add to cart buttons convert terribly. So I would never recommend anyone do that. But yeah, there's plenty of ways that you can fix this basically, right? So in terms of like what I would tell you to do, it's exactly the same that I'd tell Kat to do. And honestly, it's probably the same that everybody should do on the call. Like I said at the start, usually I do this one by one for a few people. I guarantee you that everyone has the same problem, right? If we look at your product page, you do have breadcrumbs, that's fine. You do have reviews. You've got some funny stuff going with pricing. Your add to cart button doesn't change. So there's a thing called change state, right? So when you mouse over it, it changes. Yours doesn't do anything. So little micro issues are going to cause you problems, shipping, Sydney-wide delivery. Do you only ship in Sydney?
Yes.
Okay.
That's one of our big conversion problems, because we sell larger plants. It doesn't work financially to ship them outside.
So like if this says the Australian plant shop, whereas it should probably say something like, Sydney's #1 plant shop and we only sell to Sydney and
Right now.
Right now. Let's conquer Sydney first, because I'm sure there's enough people in Sydney that would spend $1 million a month online buying trees. There you go. That's probably a good starting point. And then you run, we'll do this quickly. I'll bring up the whiteboard because I may as well. Geez, it's got a good turnout tonight. I can see so many people here. Hello. Hope you're having a good time. All whiteboards. Here we go. Which one is it? Is this the one? You've got a screenshot of this, right, Kat, before I nuke it? By the way, you can watch the recording anyway. So same thing for you, basically. So let's pick a better, more appropriate color. Green. Fix it, make it bolder. That one, that'll do. When the OCD kicks in and I want thick lines and stuff. There you go. Fix the website, #1. Fix it 2. Brand strategy.
Okay.
Right. Then your next thing would be nailing Google Ads. I don't imagine people are sitting on Meta going, I need a Monstera Deliciosa, probably pronounce that terribly, right now. Shit, I'm going to buy it.
That a more visual medium like Instagram would work better than Google?
Yeah, but a lot of people will first and foremost search by the type of product, like the name, right? So nail Google Ads first. That's number one.
Okay.
Secondary with this would be absolutely meta ads will work, like you said, but it's going to have to be video content. Like, you can't just be a photo of a tree.
Okay.
It's got to be like, hey, it's Maya here, and you walking through. I imagine you have a nursery or something.
No, I work
No?
with about 50 growers.
Right. Okay. So someone needs to be doing walkthroughs of like, hey, today we're here a consumer doesn't know where you are. They're like, look at these beautiful trees, they're in stock. We can ship them out, blah, 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 blah. Order from our website. We'll get it sorted out for you.
Okay.
Like, we work with the brand, and I won't tell you what they do, but they're in the glass space, right? So they also don't touch stock. So they have locations all around Australia. They add the product to the website. Where they go, they're doing like 700 grand a month. Right, just doing this stuff. Same thing. We fix their website, we fix their brand strategy. Now they've got someone else doing their Google ads, actually. So they're helping them do Google ads, email, away they go. Same strategy for you. This is where I would start, I think. There's another thing you probably need to do. So inside of our Inner Circle program, we've got a thing called a scorecard. And I don't normally talk about it on here, but a scorecard is like, we break your entire business up into the key 10 areas where you have issues. I'm talking about product, profitability, promotion, people, building teams, blah, blah, blah. So you rate everything and you go, these are the things that you should be fixing. If I get time, I might talk about that at the end of it. But I think this is enough anyway for you at the moment. So just got to nail this and nail this. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, cool. My earphones just told me that I've got 10% battery life. So I hope they don't go flat. What we might do, Chris, we'll wrap this here and we may jump back to the slide. What do you reckon? Just in case I go dead.
If we need to wrap up,
I can do it. Does that make sense, Maya?
Yes, thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah. Does that make sense to everybody else on the call, the way we've explained this for Kat and Maya so far? I'm going to assume that's a yes. All right, good. Cool. So, what slide am I up to here? Share screen again. I should hopefully make it to the end with these flat batteries, but we'll see how we go. So again, just quickly, guys, please feel free to take a screenshot of this. Everyone's is going to be quite similar. The way we do this, obviously it's like, here's things you need to fix, here's things you need to build upon, here's things you need to grow, and here's things that you want to ultimately really transform in your business. So like, we do this for our Inner Circle members because the transformation is like, hey, we run your meta ads, we run your Google ads, we teach you how to do all of this stuff, right? So it's not relevant to a lot of you right now, but in the future, when you go, you know what, my business has transformed into a multi 6-figure, 7-figure business now, we start putting stuff in here. So quickly, so this is a couple of people that we've helped. You can look at the slides and so forth, and you can see, who we've worked with. I will get Chris to also put a link into our chat of reviews of a whole bunch of other people that we work with. Now, hopefully, so far, I hope that you guys have got a lot of value and you can see that there's gaps in your business, and hopefully you can understand here's just 3 of the principles where we teach people that they need to work on. And hopefully you can also see what you kind of need to do over the next 90, 180, 360 days. So right now you got 2 choices, orange, obviously, choice 1, green, choice 2. Now, number 1 is you can keep doing what you're doing on your own, trying to figure it out, how to do it on your own, watching other gurus on YouTube that shouldn't be gurus on YouTube. Or option 2, you can have a chat with us, and I have nothing, just for context, I have nothing to sell you right now, right? But option 2 is, we can help you with all of this stuff. Again, some more testimonials. If what you've seen so far is of interest to you, all you need to do, Chris is going to chuck a link in the chat. You can click the link, you can get on a call with him and myself, and we basically have 2 different ways that we can help you. Right. First one is go slow, and we help you do it at a slow pace, at a very affordable pace. 2 is a fast pace. Like I kind of spoke about our Inner Circle program before, but either way, we will tell you what we think is best for you based on how fast you want to grow. Right. So we're not going to get on that call and be like, hey, here's really, really expensive things that you should buy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I think you should buy this based on the speed at which you want to go and based on what's going to have the biggest impact for you, right? So I do have a favor to ask. Obviously I spend a lot of time doing this, and if you have enjoyed the session tonight, even if you don't buy anything from me, I'd love it if you could just leave us a testimonial of how you found tonight. Hey, Paul said some nice stuff and it was helpful, and Chris will put the link into the chat. You've got the link there, Chris? All good. If not, I'll send it. I'll get it for you. I don't think Chris gave it to you. So I really would appreciate that. I guess now would be, if anyone has any questions or anything, please feel free to, come off mute, and I can very happy to answer them. I have kind of spoken about a number of different things as well. Like I spoke about our high converting store converter kit. I might put that into the chat as well, because there is a couple of people on here that I think would really benefit from using that with us as well. So I might talk about that briefly, because in my opinion, it's a cracker offer. Actually, that's not the one. Hang on, converter kit. Oh, excuse me. It's this thing. So I did mention that we have many ways that we could help people. We've got our inner circle program. We've got our community program. When you guys get a chance though, have a look at the link that I dropped there. So basically what the store converter kit is, for those of you that have tried having a crack and building your own website, basically what we do, our team come along, we put our high converting theme and our high converting framework that has all the elements, and we install it on your website for you. Then all you need to do is come along, upload your photos, change some buttons, change some text, quick save, away you go. It should probably take you a couple of hours to do, but you now have a high converting website, right? Now, the other cool thing that you get when you buy the store converter kit is we have what we call our community program. Now, community program means you get to come and hang out in our community. And inside the community, we do calls like this every day, right? So this is a private community. We do 10 or 11 calls at the moment. There's a Google Ads call, a Meta Ads call, a brand call, a conversion rate call, a marketing call, everything else, heaps and heaps of calls, right? So if you buy the converter kit and then you go through, we also actually give you a whole bunch of courses as well. So that brand course that I showed, brand communication thing that I showed you, it's a course, you get it included, right? So you get that, you get the conversion rate optimization course, you get that, you get a Meta Ads course, you get that. What's going to happen is you're going to have questions and you're like, I'm a bit stuck, right? I'm a bit stuck on the brand messaging component of this. So every Thursday, you just jump on the call with Chris McLean, who is our head of brand, and you go, Chris, I've got some questions. I'm up to tab 9. Can you help me with it? Or you jump in and you go, hey, I'm working my website. We have a dedicated channel. It's called Shopify tech support. So our development team, everybody else who's already purchased this thing is in there, and they help you do it. Right. So the goal, inside of a week, you have a high converting website, and you understand meta ads, you understand brand, you understand pro, and you've also got access to all these other things. That's kind of the basic thing that you could buy. And you'll see when you click the button and you watch the video and blah, 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 we include 8 weeks access in that as well. So you don't have to pay extra. So have a look at that if that's of interest. As I mentioned as well, we work with a lot of people. We just go, people go, I don't have time to build my own website, blah, blah, blah. So obviously, speak to Linda and speak to Chris, and they can help you just come and buy a website. It takes us 6 weeks to build you a brand new website. All right. So we do everything. At worst, you have to come to 4 meetings that go for an hour, but inside of 6 to 8 weeks, you've got a beautiful website. It's going to be built to convert. It's ready to go. Your products are on there. Happy days. Right. I have already spoken about the inner circle. I spoke about the community. There's a lot more that goes on there. The best thing I would recommend would be go to the eCommerce circle page. Have a look. If you're interested in working with us, click the apply button. Again, you'll hear from Chris, you'll hear from Linda. They'll help you out and they'll kind of walk you through everything you need to do. And what else am I forgetting? And then once you're in the inner circle as well, we help you run your Google ads. We help you run your Meta ads. So once you know how to do it, we actually have vetted people in the community and they'll run it for you, right? So this is unlike anything else that exists out there. There's agencies and there's freelancers on the internet and there's web designers. We do everything for all brands, and we take brands from nothing to, 6, 7, and 8 figures. So And as we spoke about at the start, I've done this for a very, very, very long time. So any questions about any of that at the moment? You want to add anything, Chris? There's probably one other thing would be you don't have to buy the store converter kit as well. So I spoke about the community program. You can jump into the community program, which gets you into our community. It's $100 a week, right? Come and go as you leave, as you feel like it. Why we've done it that cheap is because we want you guys to jump in, learn as much as you can, become as good as fast as you can, and then, come along and get websites and get all the other stuff that you may need in the future as well, right? So, yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Question.
What was the question?
Zoom user is asking.
How not tech savvy are you? Well, you know how to use Zoom now, so you're off to a good start. You probably need to click the mute button though. Okay. Look, it's super easy. So for anybody who wants to learn how to run e-commerce businesses well and properly from the start, like it's literally like this. We do an announcement every day at the time a call is going to be on. So like, hey, go to the call, sit there and listen. Worst case scenario, you'll be listening to questions that are being asked for by brands that are doing big numbers. So that's something for you to aspire to, right? We have people in there that are very, very, very non-technical and people that are super technical. So it's fine. We'll help you get you up and running and get you sorted. Any other questions? I know you sat there for a bit, Nirav, and haven't asked anything. Do you have any questions, mate, or Lexi, or
Yes,
Nikki?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, hi guys, from Melbourne. Very new to the Shopify thingy, and haven't got any website or haven't decided a product as yet. So just starting fresh. So still identifying the niche and all that to see where I should actually start investing or building a website. So any knowledge here is new to me. So I'm listening and trying to learn from here. So we'll definitely get in touch with you guys to Linda or Chris to just gain further understanding.
Your number one, the number one piece of advice that I would give you if you don't even have a product yet, it's to think about what is a big problem that I would like to solve for a lot of people that isn't currently solved that you're passionate about. Why I say that, because let's assume I was going to start another e-commerce business tomorrow, and my e-commerce business was about, I don't know, think about something that's happening today. I don't know, like maybe there's a war or something. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, holy crap, there's going to be a big problem. Well, who knows what's going on in the world at the moment, right? Everyone watches the news. It's pretty interesting out there. You go, you know what? Like maybe we all need a survival pack or something, and chances are this may be a big problem in the future. So we go, all right, I'll go solve that problem, and it's also something that I'm interested in, and I'm being quite, dramatic with this, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, probably a lot of people, like if that something like that happened, we go, big problem, a lot of people, I'm also passionate about it, and it's something that I'll enjoy doing for a long time. If I strip this way back and go basic example, I go, hey, like if I wanted to have lots of bikes out there that want to have a good beard like Chris has got, I go, and I'm, looks like you've got a beard. I can't tell. We're trying to get a beard. You're like, it's a big problem I'm trying to solve for myself. So you should build a business around that because it's good. There's a good chance that it's going to keep you entertained and stimulated and so forth for a long time, right? Much like the toy box store, those guys wanted to sell really good products because they've got a beautiful daughter. And they go, we don't want to sell crap. We want to sell good products to her kids. Like I buy from them, we're really good friends with Chris and Sarah now because I buy into their mission. I'm like, you guys sell great stuff. Occasionally we buy stuff from Kmart and whatever, but 90% of our toys come from them, and they're obviously passionate about it because they're parents, So like that's what Kat did, Kat that we spoke about before. She had a problem. Yep. She's trying to solve the problem, I know someone was on there who's got a cupcake store or something. You can never have enough cupcakes. That's a big problem that needs to be solved, I would probably encourage people. I'd be like, there's a lot of online cupcake stores. You're in a very competitive niche, so I would go niche So for example, we work with a brand and they sell vegan cupcakes, and they have won all sorts of awards, right? So you go, it's a bit different. They're vegans selling cupcakes to other vegans and other people that just don't eat dairy. You go, great, they've got a business. It's challenging for them, but you can see how they've gone with that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Just a quick question around that that I have and trying to understand that. Does it necessarily mean that you always have to have your product inventory on hand, or can you just source it from somewhere else and sell it as like a drop shipping? Or is it something?
No, absolutely. No, not at all. We have many brands that I work with that don't even touch their products. So this is an important delineator though. So there are many drop shipping things online like Dropship Central and these things that you guys have probably heard about. And they sell, I don't want to say something to get sued, but they sell stuff from China and it probably ends up in the rubbish bin, right? And people who get into the e-commerce space go, oh, I'll just start working with a brand, a thing like that because they make drop shipping easy because they source the products, blah, 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 blah. However, like you're competing with like the 4,000 other Niravs that also had the same idea. So you're building a business and you're trying to run ads and you're trying to go, oh, I can't run ads because there's like 400 other people who've got way more money than you running ads. So that kind of dropship business, in my opinion, like some people disagree with me, is not good. However, like we have many clients like the glass guy that I spoke about, or like Nirau and Landon that I spoke about, or many more that work with like really good suppliers. So some of these guys, they have no competition, and they do monster amounts, like Zero Grid do, they have maybe 3 or 4 competitors or so forth, but they do really well. So that's the challenge to find those suppliers. But again, inside of the circle, we teach people how to do that. So I'm like, here's the shortcuts. Come to this call. I'm going to show you how to do it. Done. You don't need to waste the next 2 years of your life trying to figure this mess out, right? So I would highly encourage people to go that path than the other path. I'm invested into a couple of many ecom brands at the moment, and those kind of businesses are great businesses, right? Because they don't have stock sitting in a warehouse getting dusty, monster warehouse, bigger warehouse. This is very expensive. The supply is where the risk. I grab it, I sell it as I need it. Thanks very much. Put the profit in my bank account. Go again. Right. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Thank you.
Keep asking me questions, guys. I'm super happy to. I've got another half an hour.
Left one for you.
What is it? Did you find a link too yet, Chris, to send you? If not, I'm going to find it.
No, you said you were going to send it.
Oh,
Mickey's just asking about themes.
Yeah, give me a second. So I just want to do this first. Hopefully everyone's happy to give us a testimonial. That'd be great. I'll cry later if you don't. So just say, there you go. Say something nice in there. So what was the question? Just going back to themes. What themes? All right. So here's what we do, right? So if someone buys the store converter kit, what we do is we actually use a theme called the Hour theme, and the Hour theme is the top selling theme on ThemeForest. Now, the issue with that is the fact that it doesn't have all of the high converting elements in the theme. So what we do and what you get if you buy that store converter kit is we add all of them into it for you, right? So your homepage, your product page, your collection page, all the pages. It's got a whole bunch of other stuff. It's called the Ella theme. So don't buy it. It's not a good idea. Like, you better buy the thing that I spoke about, because if you buy that, you're just going to end up with another theme that's not built to convert. We use this because it's highly, highly customizable by our end users, and you don't need to know how to be a developer to edit it. However, what we put into the theme makes it even more customizable, and it converts a lot better, right? So, for example, if you look at the Toy Box Tail website, like, that's built on that theme, but that we put 140 hours into that. You'll see sites like this one. Hang on, let's just. So the Toy Box Tail website was built on the Hour theme. A site like this is built on that. The Persefair is built on this. And just for context, we build like 100 websites a year, right? or more probably. Here's another one. These guys do a lot every, then we've got, give us some brand names here, Chris, any, you want to chuck in here?
Boutique sources.
Yeah, boutique sources. We'll do the ones that we've mentioned on the call. Here's another one. All right, beautiful website. So, like, you won't be able to figure out what to put on these things on your own. It's kind of my point. Zero grid as well. My voice is starting to die. All using the hour theme, all using different stuff, all kinds of blah, blah, blah. So, I can show you hundreds more if I can remember. My brain memory's running out here. Does that make sense? Absolutely. One thing to absolutely avoid, please don't go by the Dawn theme or the Impulse theme or most of the themes that are sitting on the Shopify thing. They're so basic. You cannot do anything with them. You can't even go like 3 people purchased in the last, 24 hours or blah, blah, blah. Right. All good. Any other questions before we wrap? No worries. I'm just going to put that thing in again. So just make sure everyone's got it. Please check out the store, like the converter kit. Honestly, everybody should just get this thing from the start. It's exact like most people on here, except probably for the plant lady that I think she's got really good momentum. Probably up better building a proper custom website. So, cool. All right. I don't know then, I guess, guys, thanks so much for attending. I assume some of you have booked a call with Chris, so he'll get that sorted. Again, please feel free to leave us a review. What was this one? I wouldn't even know. Okay, no worries. Oh, good. Awesome. All right, guys, and enjoy the rest of your evenings, and I look forward to seeing you on some of these in the future.